So we have a new podcast. I mean, we're still doing our old podcast.
Of course, we're not going to give up our successful movie review podcast.
No, but we did want to have our listeners get to know us a little bit more. And we're on a mission.
Yes.
What is that mission, April?
Our mission is to find definitive, concrete evidence of whether I am just an absolute failure at cooking / baking / anything in the kitchen.
Yes. Now, this doesn't start and end with you.
No.
Because I've had my own trials and tribulations in the kitchen. But I would say, of the two of us, I'm a much better baker than you. I can bake from scratch. I can bake almost anything. Not a problem. Cooking, not my forte. And so we thought we would mix a little bit of our baking failures and prowess, whatever, with bitching.
Yes. We can complain about whatever bothered us that week, you know, like that one person who don't cut us off.
So if you think things like that irritate you,
we would love to know more.
Yes, and we would love for you to listen to our brand new podcast,
Shakin' and Bacon. No.
Our brand new podcast.
I don't know. I forgot what we named it. Give me a break. Give me a bake. Break me off a piece of that.
Kit Kat bar. Yeah, give me a bake. So, stay tuned.
That's right. Can you just give me a break already?
Right? So stay tuned, folks. Hope you enjoy. And on to the other.
Here's a teaser. We've already done our first baking session.
It didn't go quite right.
April 0, Kitchen 1.
Yes.
Hi, everyone! And welcome to Give Me a Bake
With Sarah and April.
Ha-ha!
So, April, on this week's episode,
Our first episode,
we wanted to ask the question, can April bake this?
Yes.
And, what did we try to bake?
Well, we decided to start with something simple.
Yes.
Something that every child learns how to prepare.
Apparently not April.
Okay, we decided to do s'mores.
Yes.
But I've only ever made s'mores on a campfire or using a lighter.
Yeah.
But Sarah here had to go all fancy.
Yeah, so for Christmas I bought my sister a s'mores maker, and I thought, for sure April can do a machine, and all you literally have to do is put the marshmallow above this fake flame.
I'm sorry that I'm not used to this fancy stuff you guys have over here, okay?
And
all I ever had was a lighter. I grew up poor.
And like 2 seconds in, she sticks the marshmallow to the machine, burns it.
I think that's kind of the object of the...
Yes and no. You're supposed to get it like roasted, not burnt. And then, so what did you do, April?
Well, I stabbed it like through the middle when I should have stabbed the marshmallow through the side.
Yeah.
So I couldn't quite like roast it, and it wasn't doing anything. Like it wasn't at all. So like everyone's just watching me, and I'm over here kind of like turning it, and like it gets too close and it touches the little metal bar. And finally Susan, I don't know if she's just, because I got to go first, I don't know if Susan got impatient and she's like, oh my god, I just want my s'more, or if she just was over it or what. But she's like, I hear you can microwave it, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I could have sworn she said put it in for 15 seconds. Okay? But like, I don't know her microwave. So I hit the 1, and then it started the 1 minute. But I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's cool. I'll just take it out at like 45 seconds, right? And Susan says something, but like, I'm watching my little timer clock, and I'm not paying attention to her, because I can't let this thing go over. Okay? And I love microwaving honey buns. So when she said 20 seconds, I honestly didn't think that was long enough, because I usually do my honey buns for 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Anyways, 45 seconds hits. So that means it's been 15 seconds, and I open it, and oh my god, my marshmallow has turned into the blob.
It was so big. It was like,
I didn't know they could expand that much.
Yeah, they do. And so then it was like ooey and gooey and just messy all over the place, which is kind of what you want for a s'more. Mm-hmm. But
I overachieved.
Yeah, overachieved.
I did better than bad.
But it was still a failure.
I mean, I ate it. It was fine.
Yes,
it
true.
Was faster.
I mean, it didn't look like the photo, but it was
edible.
S'more. It was edible.
Was it a s'more? Yes. Was it edible? Yes. Was it faster? Yes.
Did it look like what it was supposed to? No.
It looked okay. Like Carl's Jr. has like that 20 stack hamburger? That's what my marshmallow looked like. It just looked like 10 marshmallows stacked, or 2 or 3 marshmallows stacked.
Yeah.
I got a gourmet s'more.
Yes. So April, when I when I was like, hey, do you want to do this podcast with me? You, like, the next day you had a cooking fail.
Yes!
Would you like to tell the people about that?
So...
It was so well timed.
So, okay, I was trying to make breakfast, right? So, I turn on the little, like, the little twirly thing to turn on the stove. What do you even call that? The circle thing? The pilot? The
igniter?
Well, it's not like it's electric. So it's not. It's the range. Is that what it is?
Well, it is a range.
Okay, there you go. So I turned it on.
Cooktop.
Yeah, cooktop. There you go. So I turned it on, and I'm waiting for it to get hot. I'm trying to like heat up oil because I'm trying to like fry something, and like nothing's happening. So I make myself a coffee. Nothing's happening. And so, like, I go ahead and I'm like, okay, I'm sure it's hot. So I put my food on there and it doesn't go, like when it's, like, hot. And so I'm like, maybe I need to turn it up. So I turned it up. And so I'm, like, waiting, drinking my coffee on my phone. And I'm just like, why isn't it making a sound? And so I, like, look, and then I notice that I turned on the wrong one.
Yeah.
So that was going on for like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 minutes.
So, kitchen 2, April 0.
Dude, I have failed so many times. so many times.
Yes. So I would love for everyone to follow along.
And share your failures.
Yes. Please write in, email us. You can find us on Instagram. We have an Instagram.
Ooh.
It's Give Me a Bake Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And you can send us your stories. Send us your failures. Or, hey, you know what? If you want to brag, send us your achievements. And we will
I'm just going to call it fake news. You got that picture of a Pinterest, that's not you.
It's not real.
It's fake.
It's only real if we see a video.
Is it though?
That's true.
It could be a food deep fake type.
Good point.
Mm-hmm.
Don't trust him.
That's the original term for food porn.
So, along with our
I thought you were going to go with like, a long, long time ago.
I can still remember. So, anything irritate you this week, April?
Yes. So I happened to be traveling.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't understand why so many people carry luggage into a plane. Like, why? I understand.
Because they need their clothes.
That's why you ship it at the bottom. Like,
but sometimes that can be pretty expensive. I mean, it can.
I mean, it costs money, yeah, but like, I'm not.
Some people are baller on a budget.
I don't know, like, I'm just not gonna be hauling that shit all over town with me. Like, no.
So what happened?
It's just I was going to Mexico.
Uh-huh.
I had to switch planes, and you're running from, in some cases, one terminal to another terminal.
Yeah.
Or you're just switching planes. And it's like, dude, all these people, first of all, I don't get priority boarding.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time I get in there, there's already a line.
Yeah.
People shoving their crap up in the overhead. And then to get out, I like have to wait for all these people to get their shit out of the overhead. And it's like, dude, just get out of my way. People walking slow, pulling on their luggage. And I'm like, get away from me. Just get away. Their luggage in the way. Like, you're right now with social distancing, you know, they have like every other seat like blocked, but people don't be sitting right on these chairs. So like, let's say there's two people, they're sitting next to each other. So one person's sitting like on the actual seat and the other person's sitting in the forbidden seat. And then they have their luggage next to each other. And then that just means there's more people having to sit further away from them. And they're just taking up too much space. Okay, I want to sit right there next to the charger, but I can't because your luggage is right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is annoying.
It is. Sure, I had an extra battery pack in my purse, but what if I needed that for an emergency?
True. What if you got your plane crashed and you needed that? You know, you're on the island.
So, I want my dad to go and travel more back to Mexico.
Yeah.
And I suggested, like, hey, you know, we can get a 2-hour flight down there. It's not that bad. And he's like, we'll get there faster in like 2 hours. And he's like, I'll end up in heaven 2 hours faster. He's like, no, we'll just drive. We could take your car. And I'm like, well, we'll see. I mean, it would be faster instead of going on a bus.
Yeah.
But, like, you can't beat 2 hours.
True.
So.
That would be better to fly. It sucks to fly, but, like, it also is great to fly. So I have something that irritates me.
Tell.
So I had someone call into my work and they were like, I haven't been able to get a hold of the adjuster. It's been months.
Months?
Months. It's been since March. And I was like, okay. And I look at the notes, and it shows that we tried to reach him, and like every single one said couldn't leave message. Their voicemail's not set up. And so I was like, oh, well, I see that we tried to reach out to you, but your voicemail isn't set up. He's like, well, I don't answer phones for unknown numbers. Why does your company have where it doesn't show who's calling?
Because we have a million phone lines?
I was just like, so you're mad at us because you didn't answer because it was an unknown number.
And you never bothered setting up your voicemail so people could leave you a message.
If you knew our number was unknown when you got one, why wouldn't you A, answer it? B, if you didn't answer it, call immediately back to your adjuster so then maybe you could actually talk to them.
Mm-hmm. Not only that, but you can just Google the phone number.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, if it comes up with unknown...
Oh, that's right.
It won't show it. But, like, so then I tested it out, and I called my phone from my work phone, and it just shows the number. It doesn't say who's calling, but at least shows the number.
So it's just not programmed in his phone, so it's unknown to him?
Like, some companies, I have heard that some phone companies automatically make things say unknown or block them. So he just happens to be with the company that does that. But, dude, set up your voicemail. Why isn't it set up anyways? And why, if you know you're expecting calls, like, we also have your email. Why don't you just say, hey, email me? But I have a feeling that his email was not real because it sounded like a made-up email.
My whole thing is, why didn't he just go to his insurance company? Because I used to work in insurance.
Oh, we are his insurance company.
No, like, actually go to them.
True.
Because, like I said, I used to work in insurance.
Yeah.
And every now and then you would have customers who could not get hold of their adjusters. So they would come in and make us call thinking that we had some magical connection.
Yes.
All we would do was call the regular phone number and just explain that we have a customer here who can't get a hold of their adjuster and and in the end just pass them the phone once we reach somebody.
I deal with that multiple times a day. Multiple times. I also have one sort of in that ballpark. I had someone from another insurance call me, and she was very slow talking and also talks like this. She's like, so, like, are you guys gonna just call us about this claim?
Are you serious?
I was just like, oh my god.
I'm already annoyed.
Yeah, I was just like, oh.
I'd be like, email me.
Just stop talking. Stop doing what you're doing. Like, I know people can't help how they sound, but I feel like she could help that. It was very annoying.
I would be like, I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I zoned out.
I fell asleep. I'm so sorry. Yeah. So, it's been crazy. But that's my little bitch fest about work. So, next time, what do you want to try and bake?
Ooh, so Sarah got me this Star Wars cookbook.
I did.
We're going to make something from the Star Wars cookbook, and I want to make something alienish. That way, if I mess it up, you can't tell.
So, the only problem I see with that is that it may be
long?
too advanced.
Oh. You don't have any confidence in me?
Well, I thought it was a kid's cookbook. Because I was looking for kids' cookbooks, and I literally typed in children's, like, easy children's cookbooks.
You were gonna...
Well, I know who I'm working with.
Okay.
And so, I thought it was a child's cookbook.
Okay.
Turns out it was more advanced than that.
So listen, my mother and grandmother all cook without recipes. Okay? They make it look so easy. And so, like, I don't really know how to cook, but every now and then I, like, look at the directions and the instructions, and I get the gist of it. And I think that's my problem.
Yes, because unlike cooking, baking is a science, and you have to have the exact amount of things in order for it to work.
I only very recently learned, like, let's say you're getting flour or sugar or whatever, and they say, you know, get a cup of it or a spoon of it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that, like, it can't be pointy on top like a mountain. Like, you know how you just scoop it up and it's not flat? It was like, grab a cupful. Okay, so I just grab a cupful and I throw it in. And then they're like, add this much water. Of course, water is leveled, right? So you add water. And then, like, because I tried to make tortillas one time, and it was, like, so dry, and I'm like, okay, this doesn't seem right. So then I added more water, but then it got, like, too mushy, and I was like, okay, this doesn't seem right. So then I added more flour, and it was just like, and I didn't have, like, a rolling pin thing, so then...
What did you use?
A bottle of wine.
Hey.
But I didn't actually have a bottle of wine, so I used a bottle of, like, my brother's beer, and, like, it didn't turn out so well. And then Frankie just had gotten home right when I had just finished making them.
Yeah.
I hadn't even had one yet. And I was like, Frankie, have a tortilla with me. He looked at them and he's like, you made that. And I was like, yes. And he's like, I'll eat later. And I was like, no, you have to have one now. No. He's like, well, I just got home. I want to take a shower. And I was like, okay. He went into the shower. As soon as he popped out, I was like, are you ready to have one with me? He's like, I'm really tired. I want to go to bed. Like, I had to force him to eat one.
And what was the results?
He was like, oh, it'll taste better with food. You know, like
yeah when you disguise it with all the other stuff.
Yes.
So, like I said, I'm a much better baker than I am a cook, but
I mean, the tortillas were still edible.
I
haven't made them again, but, like, I mean, if the pandemic had, like, hit in the food source, I would have eventually figured out how to make them properly.
Next time you call me, and I will help you. I'm a much better, like, reheater of food. So, like, let's say we had leftovers of this and, like, leftovers of that. I can make, like, a new meal just adding extra stuff. And it always turns out pretty good. But I can't make that initial thing. Like, I don't know if it's just, like, too long. Like, cooking just seems too long to me. I don't know if it's that, or I don't know how to cook. I just don't, maybe I don't try it enough.
Cooking should be easy. I tried to make soup one time.
What happened with the soup?
Well, like, I bought, like, the chicken broth, right? And then I bought all, like, I had bought a rotisserie chicken, and then Frankie don't help me eat this stuff, okay? Like, he ate one time. So then I was like, what am I going to do with all this chicken? So I decided I'm going to make, like, soup. So I bought, like, I can't remember if I bought chicken broth or chicken stock.
I would think stock.
I don't know. But then, like, I threw the liquid in there, and then I cut up my chicken, I threw in, like, vegetables and stuff, but then I threw in pasta, and I think I know where I messed up.
The pasta.
Yes. I think the pasta absorbed all of my liquid. So then I had too much product in my soup, and I had to add more water. And then when I added water, it lost the taste.
Yeah.
So then I had to add seasonings. Like, okay, so I had to add seasonings, and that didn't work. And we have, like, the bouillon powder.
Yeah.
So I started adding chicken bouillon powder to my chicken stock or soup or whatever to my chicken, and it never recuperated that taste ever again. I added so much crap in there, and then I overcooked the pasta.
Oh my god.
Like, okay, but I still ate it.
So, like, next time you need to make the soup, make the noodles separate, and then you...
But that requires an extra dish, Sarah. Oh my god, I'm only trying to use the one pot. I already dirtied a knife cutting the chicken, okay?
Yeah, but that's where it went wrong. You needed to make them separately.
How about this? How about I just... No. Okay, I cook the pasta first, and then I dump out the water, and then in that same pot, I put in all the other stuff.
That could work, but I think the soup has to, like, cook for a while. Like, to cook down, you know.
And I would overcook the pasta again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know. It's a slippery slope. So this is why we're doing this podcast.
I mean, I still ate it, but I threw away, like, the rest of it.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
It sounds terrible.
Yeah, like, so a lot of the water evaporated again.
Mm-hmm.
And it was more like stew, but not good.
Yeah. It doesn't sound good.
No.
Sounds pretty terrible.
And I can't remember what I did, but it was kind of yellow.
Ooh.
You know how you make, like, what is that? Creamy chicken noodle
Yeah.
soup? I was trying to make it creamy.
So...
But I can't remember what I added to it to make it creamy.
You should
Maybe
have
milk?
gotten...
Oh, I remember now. Okay. So I did kind of look at a recipe, right? I remember. Okay. And they said to make it creamy, you take flour and milk,
Yeah.
I think, and you whisk it.
Yes.
Right? But I don't have a whisker. So I was like, I'll just use a fork. I mean, it has prongs, right? So I had added too much flour.
Of course.
Okay. And so then I had to add more milk. But now I started mixing this in just a regular, like, cereal bowl, but it
Yeah.
wasn't that deep. But I remember, because I wasn't going to dirty another I hate dishes. I really hate dishes, okay? So then I started whisking it, right? But I couldn't, like, break up all of the flour, so I had bumps. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to throw it in there, and, like, the boiling will, like, break open the bubbles. Or
Yeah.
break open the flour circles or whatever. But then it wasn't, like, creamy enough, so I kept doing that a few times because I wanted it to be more yellow. Yeah, that didn't help either.
No, I don't. So, I'm thinking the next adventure in teaching you to bake, we should do, like, standard chocolate chip cookies. Just regular chocolate chip cookies. So you can learn how to, like, scoop off the top of the flour with a knife.
Oh, like, you mean, like, make them?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were like, girl, okay, wait. So, I was thinking of you were talking about, like, buying that cookie dough and just cutting it. I've done that. I have not done well.
Exactly. That's why I wanted to start with that. So we should start with that. I thought, okay, maybe I was not giving you enough credit with the s'mores thing, and we should just move on to, like, a recipe. But no, I should start with the break it. Okay, so first it should be the break and bake. Then the next one should be the log, where you have to, like, cut it.
So the one we bought the break-in one, but me and June, we wanted...
You stuck them all together, didn't you?
No, we wanted big cookies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, like, we're like, we should do 4 at a time, and then the inside didn't get cooked.
Yeah.
So we ate around it. we ate the cooked part.
Yeah.
Hey, but June was the one who wanted big cookies. Okay, so I was like, okay, I'll just do 4 little pieces.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm.
I mean, we still ate them. Except not the middle.
Oh, Lord. So, follow along with us as we go on this adventure with April.
I mean, if it's still edible, I think it's a success. It's not like I'm posting Pinterest pictures.
Like, you can eat poop, but that doesn't mean it's edible, you know?
Oh, well, if you're gonna be like that.
So, next time, please follow along as we go on more adventures with Cooking with April.
That, like, I'm not doing this on purpose, okay? Like, I'm a very logical person, okay? If you want a big cookie, it just makes sense to break up bigger pieces. How was I to know that the middle wasn't gonna get cooked properly? Like, that's not logical. How do normal bakeries make big cookies? Explain that to me.
Well, okay, let me ask you, how did you do it?
Okay, so when we did that kind, we got the kind that's already pre-cut, and then you just break it apart.
Yes.
But we, like, broke bigger pieces apart than the ones you were supposed to do.
Yeah. But how did you actually, did you just leave it as a square of 4?
Yes.
Okay, so what you should have done was taken it, rolled it up, squished it down a little, and made them, like, actual cookie shape.
Okay.
And then bake it.
Okay, but listen, okay. If we had baked it the way it was supposed to be, it was already a square. Okay.
Yeah.
We just had a bigger square.
Okay, yes, but it expands out and goes down. That's how it cooks the middle as well. But if you have a bigger one, but they're not really connected very well. It's not like they're...
If anything... Okay, wait. It's like perforated, okay?
Yeah.
If anything, it should have been baked more in the middle, because as it expands, the little grooves should have expanded with it.
No. They just pull together, and it just...
No, they should have pulled apart.
You know,
they should have...
doesn't.
They should have pushed each other apart. It's not my fault cookie dough is not working logically. Okay. It doesn't make sense that it didn't work.
Well, next time what we'll do is you cook the individual squares. I'll handle the other part.
But we wanted big cookies.
Yeah, we'll make a part of them big, part of the normal ones. We'll see how it goes. So...
You need to show me how to make a big cookie.
Okay,
If I followed the directions, I could have made little cookies. Yeah. But I want a big cookie.
Okay. We'll do it.
Okay.
We'll do it.
Okay.
So until next time, don't...
Beware of the kitchen.
Don't let April anywhere near your kitchen. She might blow it up.
Hey, that wasn't me, though. I've never set anything on fire in the kitchen.
Well, that's good. I mean, you were very close. You know, one spark of that oil could have...
It never turned on.
But...
The garbage disposal, that's another story.
That one's on you. So, until next time, folks, keep it real, keep it clean, keep April out of the kitchen.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to Give Me a Bake podcast. Please send in your baking/cooking fails and triumphs to givemeabakepodcast@gmail.com or at our Instagram at givemeabakepodcast. If you like this episode, please rate, review, and follow. This has been a production by Give Me a Bake Podcast. Our theme song is Trey French by Johnny Boyle. Till next time, bye!